So our next topic is EXIM policy. Since we have briefly discussed upon the export trade, its procedure, its documents, and also with import trade procedure and documents. So moving on, our next topic is EXIM policy. So what is EXIM policy? India's export-import policy, otherwise known as foreign trade policy in general, aims at developing export potential, improving export performance, encouraging foreign and creating favorable balance of payments position. Now, did you observe this entire second line? It says export, export, export. But what is the policy? It is export-import policy. Now, this is the very reason every country, or the very purpose every country is trying to achieve, right? So, why do we want our exports to increase and imports to decrease? Because here, just let's read the sentence again. EXIM policy aims at what? Develop export potential, improve export performance. Okay, so here the focus is we need to boost our exports, isn't it? So that's why we have the support of letter of credit, we have the support of export promotion council, we have especially EXIM bank that has been instituted for exports. So why is this? Why is there so much boosting for the export, right? The more number of exporting, right, is done for a country for a certain period of time, there is more foreign exchange moving inside of our country. Let me repeat that. More number of goods are shipped across from our country in the form of export. What do we get in return? We get foreign exchange. It can be in dollars, it can be in dirhams, it can be in yen, etc. So we are going to get foreign exchange as a result of export. What about the other side? Import. Now importing, gradually why does the country import? Because it has goods in not much in abundance. It has some kind of scarcity. Okay. But apart from the scarcity goods, if those goods which are already available in our home country itself, if we are trying to be importing those goods, then we have to end up paying more amount of money. So none of us like money going out, right? Or none of us like cash outflow. We all prefer cash inflow. So same applies to our country's economic condition. So we need more inflow of foreign exchange and less outflow of our Indian rupee. Because as you can refer or as you can observe, the $1 value to the rupee is actually increasing dropping day by day, right? So therefore the EXIM policy focuses more on developing export potential, improving the export performance, etc. And then we have the objectives, which is very important. Now we understood what is an EXIM policy or what is the aim of EXIM policy. Let's understand the objectives. The number one is to facilitate sustained growth in exports of the country. Now, as we know, every country is aiming. Here we have another sentence in the last line. Favorable balance of payments position. We're going to study this balance of payment in the upcoming video in a much more detailed manner, right? So we are talking about sustained growth in exports. So have you heard of the concept? I'm sure you guys have heard. The program or an initiative by our government, right, is taken up in the form of Make in India concept. Now, why is it launched or what is the purpose behind the initiative? It's this, the first objective that we raised, right? Sustained growth in exports. Why do we have to start a campaign called as Make in India? Is that we Indians are, or our country is rich in labor. So we are a labor intensive country. Let me repeat that. India is a labor abundant country, which gives us the title called as labor intensive country. So we have abundant labor to manufacture or produce goods at a lower cost. So if you have one factor of production at abundance, the cost becomes much more economical. So therefore, the first objective is to grow or to have a sustained growth in export. So it can be textile, agricultural products, or any other goods and services that you can export or boost by making it in India or by producing it in India. So, what does that imply again? That we may stop depending upon imported goods, right? If it's locally available, we would definitely stop importing certain things from outside countries. Second, to provide domestic consumers with good quality goods and services. So here we are talking about our domestic consumers. Definitely. When we are focusing on exports, we definitely do not compromise on the quality of goods and services, right? So we try to put ourselves into a competitive edge with the international competitive prices or the quality of goods and services. So therefore, we are trying to offer the best quality in goods and services to our domestic consumers. Number 3 is to stimulate sustained economic growth. So to stimulate this growth, what do we need? Economic growth. So first we read about export growth. Now we are reading of economic growth. So how do we do that? By providing access to essential raw material, infrastructure, consumable, capital goods, providing services, etc. Right? So how does an economy grow? When you have the support system of capital, infrastructure, labor, materials, intermediaries, financial institutions, etc. So how do I stimulate economic growth? When I have the support system, right? So that's another third important and a major objective of this policy. Number 4, to enhance the technological strength and efficiency. So we're not just focusing on manufacturing of goods and services, we also are trying to improve on our technology side, because as you know that India is good at ICT, is good at technology, but we still have a long way to go in terms of technical aspects, right? So we can increase our strength and efficiency in agriculture, industry, services, and therefore the overall competitiveness, right, to meet what the global market standards can be achieved. So when you try and improve on the smaller aspect day by day or by year, that's when you can meet the global competitiveness. So once you know that Indian products or Indian services stand for quality, they stand for economical, or they stand for quality, then definitely our exports are going to be increasing. Number 5, to generate new employment opportunities. So definitely when we are moving or opening up new manufacturing units in our own country, as I just mentioned, the Make in India concept, it gave rise or an opportunity for many employment or for many people who were unemployed. So as Indians, we know one of the major problem we are facing is unemployment. So when we are trying to focus on export, we need more people to work for towards it, right? So that is going to solve a portion of problem of unemployment. It not only is not going to give you the employment opportunities for working professionals, but also to students or children, or let's say individuals or even housewives, correct? So you just need a skill or a learned trained skill in order to work or manufacture goods. So these are the 5 different major objectives of EXIM policy. So what did we study today? We discussed about what is EXIM policy, why are we focusing on exports rather than on imports, and we studied 5 different objectives of EXIM policy.